Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Twin brothers arrested for sexually abusing young boys are back in jail, this time on a new set of charges.
Lexington police have tracked down 2 men wanted in connection with a body found at a vacant car wash.
And we'll give you a sneak peek at some of the new stores set to open next month at Fayette Mall.
WKYT News at 5:30 starts now. Good evening. Twin brothers accused of sexually abusing young boys for more than 20 years have been arrested again.
Police say that Jerry and Jack Cassidy abused the boys while they were leaders of a Boy Scout troop. A grand jury has also just indicted the brothers on sexual abuse and child pornography charges, this coming from their first arrest over the summer. WKYT's Victor Puente has details on their latest arrest. It's our top story at 5:30.
After the initial charges against Jack and Jerry Cassidy were broadcast, police say they received numerous tips about other possible crimes. Those tips led to a new indictment and the pair being arrested again today. That grand jury indicted the brothers on a number of charges for child sex crimes that date back to the 1970s. The first of the charges came about in August when police were called to the pair's home on Mason Headley Road to assist the fire department with a medical run. According to court documents, that's when police found child pornography and books with logs of sexual abuse. The documents say police also found records of children's personal information, including birthdays and poem books about each child. Investigators have said they believe the Cassidy brothers abused children for more than 20 years, between 1963 and 1985. The brothers have been indicted on possession of matter portraying sex performance by a minor, indecent and immoral practices with another, sodomy, and sexual abuse. When they were first arrested, they each faced 3 counts. But now Jack Cassidy faces 8 with a $20,000 bond, while Jerry Cassidy faces 9 and has a $25,000 bond. The twins are set to be arraigned on these charges on October 24th. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The charges in the indictment include sexual acts with at least 5 victims, all under the age of 16. Lexington police say they have arrested 2 people in connection with a body found just last night at a vacant car wash. 29-year-old Joseph Sledge and 24-year-old Kavion Thomas have been charged with murder and robbery. Police are looking for Teresa Jarrett and Thomas Lucky as persons of interest. The body was found at Premier Car Wash on West New Circle Road. Police believe the victim was hit over the head. The coroner is still trying to identify the body and find a preliminary cause of death. We do know it is a white man in his 50s.
A former coach jailed in a sex scandal is trying to be released just months after being sentenced. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Scott County. 41-year-old Jason Carpenter was sentenced to 2 years in prison back in May. A jury convicted him for having a sexual relationship with a student while he was the girls' golf coach at Scott County Middle School. Now Carpenter has filed a second request for shock probation. His first request was rejected. Carpenter's attorney says Carpenter would return to his parents' home and contribute to the support of his children. A hearing is set for November. In Rowan County, Moorhead police are investigating a suspicious death. According to the Moorhead News, 68-year-old Gary Rice died in September at a health care center in Floyd County. Back in July, Rice was found unconscious in his truck. He'd told police he'd fallen and hurt himself, but police say his injuries didn't match up. Rice has been at the center since he was released from UK Hospital. His body was sent to Frankfurt for an autopsy. An official cause of death still has not been determined. In Pulaski County, 3 men were rushed to the hospital after a crash on the Cumberland Parkway this morning. Deputies say 58-year-old Otis Skaggs was driving westbound when his SUV hydroplaned on the wet road. The SUV crossed the median and hit an oncoming car. That car hit a guardrail, while Skaggs and his passenger were thrown from the SUV. Skaggs was taken to UK Hospital. His passenger and the driver of the other car were taken to nearby hospitals.
Good day to stay inside. The rain and chilly weather we've seen around parts of the bluegrass sticking around for a little longer. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it all on the First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, going to get a little uglier as we go into our Wednesday and Thursday, as a matter of fact, for parts of central Kentucky, especially where we're seeing some peaks of late day sunshine. Live First Alert Defender with a wall of water that we have been tracking now for more than 24 hours. crossing Kentucky. That's at least the same system that produced those showers and thunderstorms into western Kentucky at this same point yesterday is just now into the eastern part of the state. Steady rains from Moorhead down into southeastern Kentucky along the Mountain Parkway, back edge of the heavy rains right on top of Clay County into the Manchester area. Lexington Metro, a little hint of a little late-day sunshine, showing off some of those fall colors that are beginning to really now ramp up on us over the next couple of weeks. That peak for the fall colors here comes in about 10 days from now across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Now, broaden out Defender to show how the steady rains are, yes, getting on out of town, but watch the showers across western Kentucky and additional showers to our west underneath a big area of low pressure. That is what takes up residents around here over the next couple of days, and we'll track the rains from that when I come back in a few minutes with the hour-by-hour forecast.
Fayette Mall is getting ready to unveil its new stores next month. The old Sears cut-through that used to be an outside walkway reopened to people earlier this month, and parking has been improved. WKYT's Rebecca Smith gives us a tour of the new stores, new at 5:30.
As every day passes, the excitement builds for the grand reopening of the Fayette Mall. You can see the Cheesecake Factory right behind me. This is the first to open up. That's at the end of October. And then mark your calendars. November 7th is when the rest of the stores here that what used to be the Sears space now occupies, that's when they'll be opening up to the public. A brand new parking lot and bus stop sits in the location where the Sears Auto Parts store used to be. More than 30 new stores are coming to the mall as a part of their grand reopening set to take place in early November. Santa will also stop by to visit just in time for the ushering in of the holidays on November 7th.
So there's a lot of new shopping, especially for the holiday season. Stores like H&M, Vera Bradley, Oakley, Eddie Bauer. We have stores like Altered State and Swarovski, L'Occitane. The list keeps going.
If you are concerned with traffic and getting in and out of the mall, the Fayette Mall suggests that there's an often overlooked, not so hidden entrance and exit here along the back side of the mall between the Dick's Sporting Goods and the J.C. Penney. A lot of times there are unused parking spots out there, so keep that in mind when you head out here. Reporting in Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
There are 5 vacancies in the old Sears space. A Fayette Mall official says there should be an announcement soon about additional stores moving into the space.
If you use Facebook, be aware you could be a target of scammers. Louisa from Lexington has today's good question. Has anyone that uses Facebook heard about a scam of free money? They have you get in touch with one of their agents. Your name is on a list of people who have won money. You pay 1/10 of the amount you get. They keep telling you it's not a scam. Heather Clary of the Better Business Bureau of Central and Eastern Kentucky says they run across these scams using Facebook. Many are a post or a private message from a person you thought was your Facebook friend telling you that you've won money from some officer on another Facebook page. Well, it turns out the message you thought came from someone you know is not them at all. Your friend's Facebook account got hacked. The scammers surf Facebook accounts that don't have high privacy settings on them and scrape images and other information from profiles. They create a new account using it, and then the scammer sends friend requests or messages to their victims' existing Facebook friends. Unsuspecting users recognize your name and hit accept, not realizing that the account is bogus and the process repeats itself with the scam artists stealing information as they go. So, how can you avoid these scams? Do not automatically accept friend requests that you receive without verifying that they aren't already friends. Also recognize something as too good to be true, like free money in this case, goes a long way in any scam. So avoid it. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com. Senator Mitch McConnell and challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes duking it out during their only televised debate, criticizing each other.
And a look at where the candidates are headed next. WKYT's Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. The only scheduled televised debate of Kentucky's very closely watched and hotly contested U.S. Senate race has come and gone, but the candidates are back on the move. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell and his Democratic challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes were face-to-face for an hour on KET last night. They didn't till much new ground, but they got to personally deliver their criticism of each other on an election edition of Kentucky Tonight.
She's made a major effort to try to deceive the people of Kentucky about her own views and where she's likely to go if she were to get there.
Senator McConnell's 30-year record. It's gridlock, it's obstruction, it's extreme partisanship that's cost this nation a 16-day government shutdown.
McConnell has headed into eastern Kentucky to campaign today. He's making several stops in coal country. His campaign has also started a new ad criticizing Grimes for not saying whether she voted for President Obama. Grimes is in northern Kentucky ahead of an event tomorrow in Louisville where former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be campaigning for her. The Grimes campaign also released a new TV spot featuring former Senator and Governor Wendell Ford. The economy remains the top issue for Kentuckians and across America as voters get ready to head for the polls 3 weeks from today. A new CBS News poll shows the economy the top issue for 34% of voters. The next issue, health care, is at 17%. Across the state, local residents are deciding on leadership. In Richmond, there's a spirited race for mayor. Incumbent Jim Barnes is seeking a second term. He was on the city commission previously. Barnes says he has worked to put Richmond on a sound financial footing. He's being challenged by Commissioner Laura Durham King, whose mother, Ann Durham, served 12 years as mayor. King says city government needs to accommodate growth and be more transparent. It's more than 6 months before the 2015 primary, but another labor group has endorsed Democrat Jack Conway for governor. His campaign announcing the support of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. It has 23,000 members in Kentucky. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
An annual conference is coming to Lexington, and state and Lexington leaders say it'll bring millions of dollars to the economy here.
Lexington will host the Southern Legislative Conference in July 2016. The conference is made up of elected officials from states all over the South. Officials expect more than 1,200 visitors and an estimated economic impact on area businesses of $2 million. The conference runs from July 16th to the 20th in 2016.